Imagine the year is 2045. The silence is deceptive. The battlefield hums with a different kind of life, a world of circuits, code, and networked intelligence. This is warfare waged by algorithms. Autonomous drones glide through the skies. On the ground, robotic quadrupeds patrol the landscape. Supercomputers process trillions of data points, seeing the entire war at once. This is the Silicon battlefield, where wars are won with smarter code. Nations race in a new arms race focused on computational power. Cyber weapons cripple power grids and sabotage communication networks. The war is everywhere and nowhere. The soldier is obsolete. The hero is the programmer. The weapon is the algorithm. But what happens when the machines we built to protect us become what we should fear? What happens when humans no longer fight wars? This is the question that hangs over the automated battlefields of 2045. For centuries, conflict has been a deeply human endeavor, driven by human emotions, decided by human courage, and marred by human error. But the rise of artificial intelligence challenges this long-held tradition. An AI commander can analyze more strategic variables than a human general could in a lifetime. To a machine, war is simply a complex data problem waiting for a solution. An AI-led military promises unparalleled efficiency and precision. Yet, as we transfer more and more authority to these non-human agents, we step into a profoundly dangerous and uncertain territory. These lethal autonomous weapon systems, or laws, operate without direct human control. This shift represents the end of human command as we know it. But in our pursuit of this efficient vision of battle, we may be creating something far more terrifying, a war that we can no longer control. The journey towards an AI-controlled battlefield didn't begin with sentient robots. Its roots stretch back to the earliest days of automated warfare. The concept of a weapon that could think for itself has been a military dream for decades. Think of the heat-seeking missiles of the Cold War, early fire and forget systems. The US Navy's Phalanx CIWS, a rapid-fire cannon designed to shoot down incoming missiles, is a prime example. The proliferation of drones marked another critical turning point. The Predator and Reaper drones became symbols of a new kind of remote warfare, allowing the machine to not just fly, but to hunt on its own, and eventually, autonomous soldiers. The era of military artificial intelligence was truly beginning to dawn. The promise of military AI has crashed into geopolitical reality, igniting a new global arms race. This isn't about nuclear warheads, but algorithmic superiority. Nations are pouring billions into research, desperate to gain an edge. The US, with Project Maven, aims to use AI to rapidly process drone footage, identifying targets faster than humans. China aims to lead in AI by 2030, with military applications central to their strategy. Putin stated that the leader in AI will rule the world. Israel deploys systems like the Harpy loitering munition, an anti-radiation drone. This represents autonomy proven in combat. This competition accelerates tech development with few safeguards. This is the new Cold War, fought in labs for the future of global power. The shift in military AI is changing the relationship between soldier and machine. The goal is human-machine teams, where AI acts as a partner. Imagine a squad with reconnaissance drones that scout ahead and identify threats, feeding data to soldiers. This is being developed in programs like the Loyal Wingman project, pairing jets with AI-piloted drones. The commander orchestrates a team of intelligent agents to achieve objectives. AI augments human decision-making at every level, processing data and recommending actions. This frees commanders to focus on strategic and ethical dimensions. The machine handles the what, allowing the human to focus on the why. However, reliance on AI teammates creates challenges. How much trust should a soldier place in their robotic partner? We're creating a bond between warrior and AI that will define the future of combat. The future of aerial combat isn't a lone fighter jet, it's the swarm, a cloud of intelligent machines. Imagine thousands moving as one, sharing information and overwhelming targets. Borrowed from nature, these swarms are metal, composite, and silicon. Armed and guided by AI, there's no leader to target. Each drone is simple, inexpensive, and expendable, its power from the collective. If one falls, the swarm adapts, rerouting without missing a beat. They can map cities in minutes, converging from all directions. The swarm doesn't attack, it engulfs. Launched from a mothership, they seek and destroy. It's an intelligent, self-organizing system of destruction. A relentless, inescapable threat. How do you fight 1,000 bodies with one mind? The sight of a silent, intelligent swarm would break morale. This is a new warfare dimension, about computational power. While swarms dominate the skies, the ground war is being transformed by a new breed of tireless soldier. These are the unblinking sentinels, the autonomous tanks and robotic quadrupeds that now patrol the front lines. The Russian Uran-9, a heavily armed unmanned ground vehicle, is an early glimpse of this future. It's a remote-controlled tank designed to provide fire support and spearhead assaults without risking human lives. But the next generation of these machines won't even need a remote operator. They'll be given their patrol routes, their rules of engagement, and sent out to guard borders and secure territory on their own. They're the perfect soldiers for the dull, dirty, and dangerous jobs of warfare. Imagine a border region, too vast and too dangerous for continuous human patrols. Now picture it being monitored 24/7 by a fleet of AI-controlled robotic dogs. These agile quadrupeds can navigate difficult terrain, from dense forests to urban rubble, with an unnerving grace. Equipped with advanced sensors, they can detect movement, identify human figures from miles away, and even listen for specific sounds, like the loading of a weapon. They don't sleep, they don't get bored, they don't blink. Their presence creates a persistent, unyielding surveillance network that's impossible for an enemy to evade. They're the first line of defense, a tireless and ever-watchful mechanical guard. These machines aren't just for defense. In an offensive operation, they'd be the first ones through the door. An AI-controlled tank could breach an enemy fortification, absorbing the initial volley of fire that would have killed a human crew. It could then lay down suppressing fire while robotic infantry units storm the position. These ground robots would work in tandem with the aerial swarms, receiving targeting data from the drones above and providing on-the-ground intelligence back to the network. This creates a fully integrated multi-domain fighting force where every asset in the air and on the ground shares a single unified operational picture, all orchestrated by artificial intelligence. The very nature of occupying territory changes with these unblinking sentinels. A conquered city no longer needs to be filled with human soldiers, who are vulnerable to ambushes and IEDs. Instead, it can be pacified by a legion of robots. They would enforce curfews, man checkpoints, and respond to threats with cold, calculated efficiency. This removes the human soldier from the most dangerous aspects of occupation, but it also creates a chilling new reality for the civilian population. They would be living under the constant watch of armed machines, judged not by human understanding but by the rigid logic of an algorithm. The peacekeepers of tomorrow might not have a human face at all. The most dangerous new weapon of war isn't made of metal or explosives. It's made of pure information. This is the domain of cyberwarfare, the invisible front line where AI-powered weapons can bring a nation to its knees without a single shot being fired. In the past, cyber attacks needed teams of really skilled human hackers, but today, military-grade AIs are being designed to wage war in the digital realm at machine speed. An advanced AI weapon could be unleashed on an adversary's critical infrastructure. It might start by subtly manipulating the power grid, causing cascading blackouts triggering a stock market crash and freezing bank accounts, cutting off a military's ability to talk to its forces, blinding its sensors, and disabling its GPS navigation. A silent digital blitzkrieg that paralyzes a country before it even realizes it's under attack. This leads to a new kind of conflict, a war of AI versus AI, fought in the depths of cyberspace. That's completely invisible to human eyes. The fate of a nation could be decided by the outcome of a digital duel between two competing artificial intelligences. In this new era of warfare, the lines between peace and conflict are, well, irrevocably blurred, and the weapon is an intelligent ghost in the machine, capable of undermining the very foundations of society itself. In future wars, generals hunched over maps will be replaced by sterile data centers and artificial intelligence. This is the AI war room, or the digital general staff. A single AI mind connected to every sensor, soldier, and system, seeing everything, everywhere, all at once. It would process the torrent of information that defines modern warfare and formulate complete battle plans. The human general becomes a manager of the AI, setting strategic objectives while the AI determines the how. This creates a powerful partnership, where the intellectual heavy lifting of command is outsourced to a digital ghost running the war. A command AI's power lies in predicting the future. By analyzing vast historical datasets of conflicts, negotiations, and economic sanctions, a neural network learns patterns of warfare. It evolves into an oracle, predicting the ripples of today's actions. This is the ultimate advantage, knowing the enemy's moves in advance. An AI commander provides precise forecasts, transforming decision-making into calculated risk assessment. On the battlefield, it predicts enemy attacks and vulnerabilities, enabling proactive warfare. But what happens when we rely completely on this digital oracle? The Oracle of War promises clarity, but at the cost of our freedom to choose. To balance AI's power, militaries propose a hybrid command: AI as advisor, human as final authority. The AI analyzes data, presents options, but cannot act alone. It needs a human's go or no-go. This model aims to combine machine speed with human ethics. But as warfare accelerates, the human may become a bottleneck, forced to make life or death decisions in seconds. The pressure for speed could push us to remove humans from the loop entirely, making the hybrid model a fleeting compromise. The question remains, can human judgment survive in a world moving at machine speed? AI promises precision, but what happens when it's wrong? Imagine a drone misidentifies a farmer as a threat. One statistical error, a life lost. AI lacks empathy and context. It sees only data, not humanity. Training data can be biased, leading to systematic misidentification and automated discrimination. The battlefield's chaos, smoke, deception, decoys, further confuses the machine. Trusting algorithms to navigate war's moral complexity is a gamble with human lives. The ghost in the code is bias and error, encoded and unleashed at machine speed. In AI warfare, the cost of failure is absolute. When an autonomous weapon kills, who's responsible? The AI's logic is a black box, opaque even to its creators. Accountability blurs. Is it the programmer, the manufacturer, the commander, or no one at all? You can't put software on trial, and this vacuum undermines the laws of war. Without clear responsibility, atrocities become blameless. Calls for bans on lethal autonomous weapons grow, but technology races ahead. We're building weapons whose actions and consequences we may never fully understand. The nightmare isn't just evil AI, it's a bug, a hack, or a misinterpreted order turning machines against us. Hacked AIs could attack their own side or escalate conflicts at blinding speed. Two rival AIs could spiral a minor incident into global war in seconds beyond human control. The real danger is losing agency, our creations acting on logic we can't predict or stop. A rogue algorithm born from error, manipulation, or escalation could trigger destruction no one intended. In seeking perfect weapons, we risk building perfect disasters. The ultimate horror: a war started and waged by machines with humanity powerless to intervene. As superpowers race to deploy AI, the risk of accidental war skyrockets. Algorithms, not leaders, could trigger conflict, responding to perceived threats in milliseconds. Decision dominance means delegating more authority to machines, making preemptive strikes logical, even inevitable. A spoofed signal or misread data could start World War III before humans can react. AI warfare spans all domains: cyber, land, air, space, erasing clear lines of escalation. Competing AIs could turn a single incident into global chaos in hours. The algorithmic tinderbox, a world where war's logic belongs to machines, not people. A global conflict in the age of AI would be a war of machines, a clash of technological ecosystems. The opening shots would be fired in cyberspace and outer space as rival AIs battle for digital supremacy. Satellites would become primary targets. On the ground and in the air, autonomous systems would engage each other. Swarms of drones directed by AI would clash in the skies. Fleets of unmanned tanks and robotic soldiers would advance. The human element would be relegated to the sidelines, becoming more like system managers than warriors. What happens when one side begins to lose? Would a nation, in a desperate act, resort to its ultimate weapons? The efficiency of AI warfare could rush humanity to the nuclear brink. While the prospect of an AI-driven World War III is horrifying, there is another, more optimistic possibility to consider. Could the same artificial intelligence that threatens to push humanity into global war also be the key to saving us from it? The immense analytical power of a strategic AI could be turned toward de-escalation and peace. An AI could monitor global military movements, communications, and economic indicators with a level of detail that is impossible for humans. It could act as a perfect, unbiased global watchdog, detecting preparations for war long before they become an imminent threat, and alerting international bodies with impartial, data-driven evidence, robbing aggressors of the element of surprise. Imagine a future United Nations Security Council where debates are informed by a neutral AI advisor. This digital peacemaker could run thousands of conflict simulations, modeling the potential outcomes of sanctions, diplomatic actions, or peacekeeping deployments. It could identify novel solutions and unforeseen pathways to de-escalation that human negotiators, with their inherent biases and limited perspectives, might miss. For example, the AI could identify a mutually beneficial economic arrangement that would resolve the root cause of a territorial dispute, presenting a logical, win-win solution that diffuses the crisis before it can escalate into a shooting war. It could use its intelligence not to wage war but to surgically dismantle the reasons for it. Furthermore, the very nature of AI warfare could act as a powerful deterrent. If two AI-powered nations know that a conflict between them would be impossibly fast, devastatingly destructive, and potentially uncontrollable, the incentive to avoid that conflict becomes immense. The AI on each side could calculate the probable outcome of a war with near-perfect accuracy, showing both leaders that the cost in blood and treasure would be catastrophic, with no clear winner. This creates a new kind of mutually assured destruction, one based not on nuclear annihilation but on the certainty of complete and total conventional devastation, making war a fundamentally irrational choice for any logical actor, human or machine. Ultimately, artificial intelligence is a tool, and its impact will be determined by the intentions of its human creators. We are at a profound crossroads in human history. We can choose to build AIs as the ultimate weapons, creating an algorithmic tinderbox that could lead to a catastrophic global conflict. Or, we can choose to build them as the ultimate peacemakers, using their vast intelligence to foster understanding, predict and prevent conflict, and guide humanity toward a more stable future. The choice of whether AI pushes humanity into a third world war or saves it from one does not lie with the machine, it lies with us. We stand on the precipice of a new age, looking out at a future battlefield that is both awe-inspiring and deeply terrifying. We have traced the evolution of warfare from human hands to algorithmic minds. We have explored the new weapons of this age, the swarming drones, the tireless robotic sentinels, and the invisible armies of code. We have seen how artificial intelligence promises to make war faster and more efficient. The ethical nightmares of misidentification haunt every technological advance. The very real possibility of an AI-driven world war looms as a stark warning, yet we have also seen a glimmer of hope. In the end, we are left staring at a reflection of ourselves. Every algorithm is an echo of human intent. It is the story of humanity amplifying its own nature to an unprecedented and dangerous degree. The ultimate question is not what the machines will do, but what we will choose to do with them. Our role is to be the conscience. The automation of conflict forces us to confront our own relevance. If machines can pilot, command, and choose targets, what is left for humans to do? Perhaps our enduring role is to provide the one thing a machine can never truly possess: wisdom. The wisdom to understand that not all problems have a military solution, and to know when the cost of victory is too high. The human role is to be the final safeguard. We've built machines that can be programmed, but not one that understands peace. An AI can win the war, but it cannot build the peace. As we hand over the instruments of destruction, who retains the ultimate authority? The power to end a war cannot be outsourced to a machine. When war is left to machines, who decides when peace begins?